Greetings and welcome to another round of Master Phil in Your Corner. This is episode 107, how to stay strong, fit, and independent as you age. And before we go and introduce our extremely esteemed guest, someone I've been waiting to get on here for a long time, let's thank our sponsors. We have to thank philross.com for kettlebells, bodyweight, self-defense, martial arts, virtual and in-person training, virtual through Patreon at Master Phil Ross. If you just want me, or if you want me and other people, go to burnalong.com. There's over 2,000 instructors on there, and my wife's on there as well. Books, Survival, Strong, and Ferocious Fitness, as well as the Kettlebell Workout Library. The Kettlebell Workout Library is now available free to all Kindle members. Just go to Amazon, check it out. Seminars and certifications through the Body Bell Method, the minimalist approach to strength, fitness, and health. ACE and NASM certified. We also have Survival Strong seminars and workshops as well. The P3 training group, Plan, Prepare, Protect, in-person online courses for civilians and law enforcement for active threat training. Health is a Wealth, the virtual community outreach program for mental and physical health, wellness, fitness, and education. Pay-per-view flicks, the Warrior Island show, as well as strength, fitness, and training videos. The Under Project, supportive and comfortable underwear for men. And Fit Team, 100% natural protein supplements, vitamin, and assorted health products. One Sleeve, BJJ, rash guard, shorts, shirts, hoodies, and all sorts of other fight uniforms and apparel. And last but not least, the Winning Mindset, athlete, team, and corporate coaching, one-on-one presentations and workshops. All right, so now, here's a guy I've been wanting to get on for a long time, and I had our good friend Anthony Argos on, and I'm like, gotta have strokes on. So we're pleased and honored to have a very special guest on the podcast today, Jim Stroker. He's a perennial figure in Ridgewood. That's Ridgewood, New Jersey. Teacher, basketball coach, football coach. He embodies, what I see as true grit and determination. And he was definitely one of my inspirations growing up. In the past 2 decades, Coach has expanded his scope of influence with his training, yoga, public speaking, motivational events, etc. So, Strokes, welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you, Phil. I'm honored and tremendously grateful to you, not only for the podcast, but everything that you personally have done for our family, and specifically, our 2 children after an accident that we'll talk about. But you were instrumental in helping 2 little kids try to get on a journey to become heroes, and you were part of that guidance and teaching. So I thank you forever and ever, amen, for everything you've done.
No, I appreciate the acknowledgement, and again, it's the least I can do. And you know what? Everybody just helps where they can, when they can, in my estimation. And I just I saw a good friend in need, and hey, you know what? What do? We rally, right? You've done so much for so many other people. It's okay for you to get help when you needed it. And you know what? You just, again, your true grit, your determination, you never quit.
Well, you showed me, like I was in California last week in Temecula with 800 Native American tribal leaders and casino and resort operators. And lo and behold, I'm being Phil Ross. Like I was you.
You shaved your head? What?
Well, no. So when my 2 children were injured, really what Phil did early on with, we still have the board, Phil would bring his board in, special board, and both Jake and Allie, whose confidence was shattered, Phil said, no, you could do more than you think you can. No. I know this looks like a board, a block, or an obstacle, but if you put your mind to it, if you believe you can get through this, Jake. You can. And lo and behold, Phil had his special board, and Jake put his hand right through it. So last week I'm in Temecula, and I have 3 boards that I'm putting up and saying the same thing that you said. So it never goes away, does it? Like we've always got those obstacles. But thank you.
If you want to tell the audience, really what happened, because what happened to your two older children was tragic at the time. But the adversity, that's a whole. That's why I want you to just touch on that a little bit and tell them so they know what happened.
Well, I won't go too long, but it's October 30th, 1989. And Phil, I'm teaching in my 9th grade classroom. And Phil, we're just starting out the drug and alcohol unit. Now, my father had died when I was 9, and he died of a massive heart attack, and he smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. So we always felt like cigarettes robbed our dad. So now we're going to start the drug and alcohol unit, which in those days, it was like that big decision. Are you going to smoke or not smoke? Are you going to be your best self or succumb to the pressures of drugs and alcohol? So Phil, I stood up on my desk in Phil Ross fashion, and I stood up there loud and clear. I said, it all gets down to one thing, and that's character. And character is the ability to persist against constant opposition, the ability not to throw the towel in when you feel that pressure, to stay with to pick courage over. And Phil, I said it so loud that the universe heard me. And the universe said, you know what? This guy talks a good game. Let's just see how he responds when things will get tough. So all of a sudden, Phil, there was a knock on my door, and my principal, Paul Fulcom, raced in and said, Jim, come quick. Jody and the kids have been in a car accident. And my wife, Jody, and my 2 children at the time, Allie, age 2, Jake, age 4, were driving down the street we live on. And this, Phil, I don't know whether you believe it, but everything I think happens for a reason.
Yep.
It was a bizarre car crash between 2 cars. And my son, Jake, was carried out of the back seat, bleeding from the brain, traumatic head injury, placed into an induced coma for 20 days. Allie was paralyzed from the chest down at age 2, developed pneumonia, and in St. Joseph's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit, there are 6 kids, all on life support. 2 were ours. So, Phil, it's kind of interesting. Has it ever happened to you where in one day you can change from one life to another life? Like through a choice, through an event, through some universal thing, but you become a different person. And that's what happened to our family. We went from one family to another. So that was the beginning of the accident. Jake came out of the coma with the use of one arm, an IQ of 75, and a gait that would be challenged for the rest of his life. Basically told by doctors, get ready because it's not going to be good. And you're not going to be able to go to public school. And it's going to be a long haul. Allie, you're paralyzed. We'll give you your first wheelchair at age 2. It'll be the size of a doll's wheelchair. The most important thing you can do is get in your standing braces every day so you don't develop early onset osteoporosis, and it's going to be a long haul. So people like Phil Ross became part of our team that said, wait a minute, just wait a minute. Miracles happen every day. And although it seems impossible, what if we just assume that we can make this miracle happen? And slowly, with people like Phil and others, we started to say, you know what? We can. And it was a long haul, but you know the story. Allie was the first wheelchair-bound actor or actress in the history of Broadway, won a Tony Award for Oklahoma in 2019, now is a worldwide advocate for disability and works as a model. She's been on numerous TV shows.
Gorgeous. And she just had a baby, right?
And just had a baby boy. Jake was not allowed to go to public school. Instead, he graduated from Fairleigh Dickinson with honors and overcame that and worked at Whole Foods, where he was the employee of the year and has 2 boys. And
he played golf too, right?
Yeah, played on the golf team. It's just for every person to say, wait a minute. I know it looks insurmountable or difficult, right, but if those kids can do it, maybe I can do it. And we all have our challenges. Right?
Yep, we all have our challenges,
That's kind of
You bring up some incredibly interesting points, and your story is one that's very well known in our area, certainly, obviously to me and my family. But what this does is it also makes you think differently in a lot of ways. And you lost your dad too early. I lost my dad too early. And one thing that we've always done, I know we always were synergistic here, is that how do we stay strong, fit, and independent as we age? We start off one way, right? Banging out heavy weights, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, doing whatever, playing football, whatever it is, right? And then as you get older, you can't always do all that stuff. But you know what? But you still want to keep doing something. And if you want to keep doing something, you just have to keep doing it. Because listen, I just want to roll this back though on one thing, because I'm looking at, we're from baby boomers and some guys in Gen X. I'm preaching all these guys because I don't want some millennial or Gen Zer having to take care of me. So I want to be as fit and as strong, as independent as I can for as long as I can.
Yeah.
So
you've preached this all your life. The one equation that, I bring all over the United States when I speak, and has been kind of a brand of what I believe, and you know it, Phil, you probably live by it too. Could be backwards on the screen, but E plus R equal O, right? Mm-hmm. So the events like aging or car accidents, or suddenly your wife walks out on you, or suddenly there's a diagnosis of Parkinson's, or suddenly one day you wake up and your car service light goes on. Those events do not dictate the outcome, right? Because the events sometimes are out of our control, but we own it, right? And we own our response to the event, and that will dictate the outcome. So aging is something I can't control. No. But what I do with it, and you just said it. Look, one of the most important words that I think take into our vocabulary is flexibility and adaptability, and the ability to go with Bruce Lee, right? Go be like water. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Like, God damn it, I'm getting too old. I have no hair. I can't believe it. I can't lift these big weights anymore. But, instead, I'm sitting in that cold shower this morning for 3 minutes. And instead, I'm meditating for 12. And instead, I'm swimming in a low impact environment. Instead, I'm on my bike instead of pounding my feet. So I'm adapting, but I'm not giving up. I refuse to throw the towel in, right?
You bring up a very important, the E plus R equals O. And the thing is that I always abide by this. Look, you only have control over one thing: the way that you respond to things that happen.
Yep.
And you just sum that up, right? Whatever an event is,
yep.
Aging, car accident, wife walks out, whatever the case is, lose a job, squirrel gets stuck in the lawnmower, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you going to react? What is your response going to be? That's going to dictate the outcome. And people have to realize that they have an incredible amount of control over this, but they have to exercise that.
Yeah. Well, Epictetus is an old Stoic master and probably one of my heroes. Back in 2,500 years ago, he told us one thing. He said, look, the chief task in life, now that's big words. Yeah. Chief task in life is to identify and separate those things that are in your control, those things that are out of your control. And once we stop praying that Allie would stand up and run, once we stopped praying that Jake was going to be the old person and accepted the event and now chose to respond and said, Allie can't run. She can't jump. She's not going to skip, but I'll tell you what, she can sing and she can speak and she can do a lot. So what can we do? Not what can't we do? I think that's huge. You're a black belt. You are a 12th degree black belt. And to me, that says when times get tough, you refuse to flinch, refuse to give up. Because if you're a white belt, like, oh my God, the service lights on, the plane got delayed. I got them cooked. But you stand for that. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So as I've seen your career, and what's most impressive to me is that you've reinvented yourself many times. You've stayed the same first principle, Phil Ross, but you've reinvented yourself as a podcaster, as an author, as a lecturer, as a teacher, and from simply, look, here's how to bench press, push them up from here, and you can get strong, or here's the right jab, you've reinvented yourself and gone with it. So why are you so open-minded?
Well, I look at it this way. I have an insurmountable amount of energy. Okay. I just go all day. Like I work with these guys who are younger. Sometimes I'm up at 6, I finish at 10. I don't care. You're the same way. You do what you got to do. We had many, many talks on this even years ago. And, when I was just working and then running the gym or whatever and fighting, I spent a lot of energy training in my fighting. A lot of energy lifting weights, hitting the bag, sparring, choking guys, getting choked, getting kicked, punched, throwing kicks and punches, so forth, right? And learning and learning and learning. But then when I said, hey, you know what? I can't fight anymore.
Yeah.
My last competition was 2010. And I said, at 48 years old, I said, I got to do something with this energy. So I went back for my master's. I started writing books. I'm working on a third one right now. And I said, let me use that energy for other things. Let me take it to another level and share with people.
Yeah.
Share with people what I've found to work for me. Hopefully it will help them. Because then that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on to discuss this, because you were an animal back in the day. Let's face it, and the things that you've changed, and now you've done different things right now, because we can't grab 225 and rep it on the bench anymore for 20 reps. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But what can you do? I know that you do yoga quite a bit, right?
Yeah, teach yoga on the beach all summer, and I practice it on a regular basis. To me, Phil, yoga, the part I love about it is the inner game, which, that to me is, as I age, maybe you'd agree with me. I think, 90% of life is what's going on up here. And, and in order to get good up there, you got to practice up there. It's no different than swinging kettlebells up. The more I do it, the better I get. But I've got to actually integrate in, especially some form of stillness or meditation, where you are closing off all the noise and allowing either yourself to practice single point meditation, where you're focusing on your breath, or contemplative meditation, where you allow thoughts to flow together. That visual imagery. I do a load of Wim Hof breathing, which I love. I think it's extremely powerful. And I do a lot of writing, like you. I find that's great,
People, especially nowadays, you brought up some incredibly beneficial training thought process. Okay, because you're talking about, okay, I'm focusing on the breathing, I'm focusing on shutting things out, just concentrating on either nothing or the contemplative. I don't think people do that enough right now.
Yeah.
And especially we're inundated with social media, commercials, everything is just zip, 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 constantly being bombarded. It's really important to shut down. There are times like I went to my daughter's soccer game. She had the last soccer game. I left the phone in the car. Like things like that. Or that time by yourself. And having also gone through a divorce, and as opposed to jumping right back into things, I would give my time to myself to think of, God, who am I? What did I do to get to this point? And where am I going next?
Yeah. Well, you and I have been athletes all of our life. And we realize the most important part of a game is pregame, and to get yourself ready to play. And if you don't get yourself, you get out of your car a minute before the fight, and what? Guess what? If you get out of your car, 10 minutes before game time, and you don't warm up. So you and I have been giant proponents of the morning routine. And, I know that you have certain parts of your life that are non-negotiables. Look, I'm a nice guy. I'll be with you, but not until 8:30. And by the way, I have a question for you. What the hell are you doing from 5 o'clock to 6? You get up at 6. No, but anyway, but I mean, that morning routine where you are in control of what's in your control.
Yes.
And you've got this disciplined routine that so there's no thinking. I'm not, what am I going to do this morning? How am I going to, you've planned it the night before, and for your hour, an hour and a half, maybe for some people only 20 minutes, but you've got to have some momentum building routine. Because I don't know about you, but if I get my workout in, I'm good.
Oh, 100%.
Don't come near me. I mean, I'm hiding. No. I'm hiding.
Yeah, just run away. Just run away. I don't do a big workout in the morning, but I do my little one that kickstarts me, and then I do my stuff. So I have to get my kid to school or walk the dog and all that stuff, and then I'll hit it. But no matter what, I don't care how late I was up. I do my routine. I go. I could put the coffee on timer, but I don't. I go and purposely make it. I come back. I do my 15-minute routine in the morning. Get my 15-minute stretching.
Yeah.
And then I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Get moving.
I mean, your energy level says one thing to me, one thing only. And let me caveat that with a question to you. But first of all, if I gave you, Phil, just out of, because I think you're a great guy, if I gave you, let's just say $1 million out of just, kindness today for this. Like, how angry would you be with other people? How mad would you be? Or you'd be like, stroke. I'll be the nicest guy in the world. Look, I'm giving people. Now, Phil, let me ask you another question. If I gave you $10 million, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow, would you take it?
Nope.
Okay. So what you're telling me is every morning you wake up, tomorrow you wake up, you're going, this is worth more than $10 million. You see,
100%.
Your energy is telling me you're grateful to be alive.
Yes.
I think if you're laying in bed all day, you're saying, you know what the hell? So I think gratitude, and that was the greatest gift of my dad dying at age 9, and your dad dying early as well. Guess what? You and I could die tomorrow.
Right.
Period. For real. It's not just,
I know.
I mean, you're in the fourth quarter. I'm in double overtime. I got 99 months till I'm 80, Phil. 99 months till I'm 80. I mean, I'm in overtime. So I mean, if you're not like living every day like it matters, there's no gratitude, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you live with gratitude, don't you?
Absolutely. I'm thankful every day, no matter what happens. You know what? I'm just thankful. And it's, being grateful is something that people really have to cherish. Yeah. Look, you wake up every day, you're in a beautiful country, whether the sun's out or not, but whatever, you have a day that you can accomplish something. You can have a positive impact during your day. Think about that. Every day is an opportunity to have a positive impact upon somebody else.
So we go to the schools and speak, and talk about kindness and giving, and all of a sudden, kid raises his hand and goes, where can I volunteer? Like I don't know where I can go volunteer. Like is there a program that I can go to, like in Newark or the Habitat? And he always go like, time out. There's a program called Your School, and you're in it, and you're going to walk past about 300 people today, including custodians, administrators, teachers, kids you know, kids you don't know. You could give kindness to every one of those people, everyone, and make that your service. I mean, this is what you've been in your life. you're all about love. I
100%.
think, correct me if I'm wrong, and
100%.
service, right?
Yeah.
You're in it to help people.
Absolutely. You bring up a huge point, and you hear about this person doing this person doing that, and but I look at the way that I try to live my life. I don't go crazy. Yeah, there's certain funds that I give to, like St. Jude's, and Marine Corps Fund, all kind of stuff, right? But you know what? When I'm walking through my neighborhood and walking my dog, I see the sanitation guy, I wave hello. See the mail, wave hello. See somebody driving a truck, whatever. Just be friendly, just be nice. You're in, and this is the first time I can't believe it's happened to me. It's never happened before. I'm shopping, and I was going to put my cart away, and this young man goes, hey, I said hello, whatever. He said hello. And he goes, hey, you want me to take that for you? Right? And of course, my first response is, what do I look old? So, we joke back and forth, but it was really nice of him to go and offer that. So, it left an impression on me, and it was something nice. He didn't have to do that, but you know what? He did. These are the things you do. Like when you go, you see a waitress or a waiter or something, man, throw them a couple of bucks in the tip, a little extra. These are the things how you help out.
You want to make your day tomorrow? Go to a gas station. Now, in almost every gas station, they have a convenience store.
Yep.
Get your $20 because you're not cheap enough to fill it all the way up. $20 a regular, the cheapest you got. And then walk inside. And along with getting your coffee or whatever you get, just get a little Gatorade about there. Just get a Gatorade that big. When you come out to pay the gas station attendant your $20, do something like, you catch this, it's yours. Throw him that Gatorade. I'll tell you what, he'll tell more people about that Gatorade toss, and you'll feel better for all day. I mean, it's the little things that make all the difference.
That's a good one. I got a trip to go on Saturday. I'll be doing a lot of driving, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So Phil, when you right now look back on your life, do you have any regrets?
Of course. Well, regrets.
Have they taught you anything? Like have those regrets been gifts because now it's made you more insightful about not letting that happen again?
Yes. Yeah. I think regrets are good. And then but I also say, well, maybe it happened for a reason.
Yeah. Right.
There's certain things I wish that maybe I had done. There's other things I wish I had done better. Certain things I wish that I didn't do. But you know what? If I did those or didn't do those things, would I be where I'm at right now? So are they real regrets, or were they just kind of maybe experiences I wish I had or didn't have? So it's kind of it's a question I don't know if I can fully answer that.
So I'm a life coach, right? So the first thing you do is sit down with someone and say, okay, here's my values cards, right? What are your values? What are Phil Ross's first principles? Like, what are his big four, big three? Like, look, if you listen to my words, watch my actions, or just watch me, you'll always align with my values, which, and I don't know what they are in yours, but to me, it seems like one is honesty. Is it?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
So honesty, one. What are the other first principles of Phil Ross?
Discipline.
Right.
Love.
Got it.
And that never say die. Persistence.
Okay. So so you said, honesty is one, discipline is two, love is three, persistence is four. So if I watched you during the day, would your life basically be aligned with those? Like, discipline is the things you do every day, the love that you show. Persistence means you don't give up easily, correct?
Yep.
And are you an honest person?
As far as I know, yes.
Yeah. Now, when the shit hit the fan,
it's something I really, really try to put forth, especially, if you ever look at one of my books called Survival Strong, I talk about in the beginning, I tell everyone what I'm not, because there's so many people in my industry that have been a little less than honest about their backgrounds and training and this, that, and the other thing. I said, listen, I wasn't a Navy SEAL. I wasn't a cop in a high crime area, but here's what I did do, so I list all the things that I'm not. So I'm like, look, so I'm not holding any aspersion. And you know what? The thing is that the fights that I had in competition, they were done in front of a lot of people. They were on record. They were, people saw them. Like, I didn't make this crap up. This was here, and lots of people saw them, and about 50 of them are still on video somewhere. So,
right. So if you were to create a billboard, put it anywhere you want in the United States, what would you put on it? Where would it go, and why?
Wow, that's a pretty good one. Well, I try to advertise my site. Honestly, I think that one thing, I think a message that we need to get across, especially in this time and age, is strength and honor. I think that the code of the 13th Legion, the code of the Bushido code of the samurai warrior, that's been lost. People, they'd rather weasel around, rather lie, cheat, steal, other than just having strength and honor and abiding by a code that stands for something. And I do hold myself to a different standard than others do, especially nowadays. Maybe back when we were younger, it wasn't so. I mean, it seemed like most people did that, but now it just seems like there's less and less. I hope I'm not wrong, but I love it.
Strength enough. And success is what?
Success is finding something that you love and do well and can benefit not just you, but others. So, people said, oh gosh, are you worried about money here, money there, whatever? And I'll tell you, honestly, I never really worried too much about money. I just more focus on the aspect of success, because money will come. Because I think that, if your sole focus is money, and look, I know a lot of people make a lot of money, make more than me. God bless them. Make a lot more than me, but that's your focus. I'll tell you, honestly, I think that there's more to life than that. And I abide by, I call them the 5 pillars of strength, where you have emotional, spiritual, financials in there, okay, physical, and I said emotional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our physical strength, we have our emotional strength, we have our financial strength, and we also have how we are spiritually.
Right.
Those are all important aspects.
Right. And relationships, very important to you?
Oh, yeah. Relationships are what it's all about. I'm not just talking about your one-on-one relationship with, someone you're married to or your family, but your relationships with people in your community, people in your industry, how they view you, how you're able to operate with them. Those are all good things.
A good new book out of The Good Life. Dr. Robert Waldinger, 85-year study that started at Harvard, trying to figure out happiness. What's the key to happiness? 85 years. And what do you think the key to happiness would be? What is the key to happiness?
When I find it, I'll let you know. I think it's all in your approach. You could have 2 people have everything exactly the same. One person is completely happy and the other one's miserable. I think it's about how you appreciate, like you said, if you're grateful, if you have gratitude for what you have. So I would definitely say it's got to be gratitude. You have to be thankful for your situation, thankful for what you have, thankful for who you are.
Right. So you're on track. Like 50% of happiness comes from your from your genes. 40% or 30%. No, 30% comes from the situation you're in, but another like 20 comes from your mindset. But the most important thing with happiness is relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships. And nurturing those relationships, right?
Yeah.
Really important.
I'll tell you this, one of the major things why there was so much depression and so forth, and angst during COVID, because people couldn't meet with each other. Man, we're social human beings. We are social creatures. We need to be around other people. Okay? Even if you're working, whatever, and you're focused, and you're alone all day. I don't like that. I like it when I'm meeting with people.
Tell me, for a year, I'm like this.
Yeah,
that doesn't impact how I feel. I mean, it's giant. That's right. So you're how old now?
60. I'll be 61 in a few months, but I'm still 60.
60. So your anti-aging routine, does that combine like I have just started to go to an anti-aging clinic, right? And have been on an experiment
Yeah.
to see how my body would respond to what they thought, and they integrated in peptides that have been incredibly effective for my shoulder, and then testosterone. And it's worked extremely well. How do you feel about replacement hormones with aging?
Yeah, I really haven't done it, but I'm definitely going to try those peptides. I think I'm going to try that, see how that works, because especially when you told me about your shoulder. So I want to try to see if it's going to help me out, because I still do some things that, edgy. I hit the bag a lot. I'll go roll around jiu-jitsu once in a while, but Coach, you have a presentation coming up, don't you?
Yeah, we have a big event, it's a big event because my daughter, who does big events, she's going to do this.
She's
event.
An international star. Let's face it.
She's done a lot of stuff, which is pretty amazing. But so this coming Sunday at 3:30, we're at the First Presbyterian Church, and that's just a place where our family grew up going to. They asked if we would do this donation presentation. So Allie and I are going to present from 3:30 to 5.
Awesome.
And then so that's fun. Then I teach yoga on the beach all summer down at Long Beach Island.
Yes.
Sunday and Monday mornings, which
awesome.
is really fun at 8:30.
Yeah.
And then just a lot of what I love, Phil, is what you do. Also, I do a lot of now life coaching with a lot of different people that are going through a plethora of different issues. Right. And I find it really satisfying, really fun, because as we age, we tend to accrue some wisdom.
Oh yeah.
And look at things in a different perspective than we did when we were 30. This is or something, right?
Hey, Coach, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put your URL in.
Great.
Yep, in our verbiage, and I want to thank everyone for being here. And Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Phil, so much.
My pleasure.
Strength and honor, buddy. Thanks a million. Love you, buddy. Take care.
Peace.
Great day.